Welcome back to the Sea Champagne Radio Show. Welcome back, Van Halen fans, Alex Van Halen fans, everybody that wanted to know exactly what was in that book, Brothers, that he wrote. And of course, welcome back the I Love Music Army. We are so glad to have your support, and thank you so much for subscribing to the channel and being a part of our internet musical global family of friends. You should join as well, but let's get to this story here. Chapter 4 was quite lengthy, to be quite honest, and what was in it, there were two things that really struck out to me, and I'm going to go through that for you real fast. For those people that don't have the book, don't know anything about the book or what's in the book, or maybe just bought it and didn't read it or got through it at this time and just want to watch videos and hear what people have to say, I'm going to give you the highlights of Chapter 4 real fast. This is the chapter where they really meet Dave and then invite Dave, or Dave gets in the band and how he gets in the band. But there were two incidents that Alex described in Chapter 4 that should be brought to attention. Number one, when they went to see Dave play, actually, they weren't supposed to play. His band that Dave was in, called Red Bull Jet. It's kind of funny how a popular drink, Red Bull, which jets you with energy, came out a lot later. But anyways, basically what happened is Ed and Al went to this place they were supposed to play. There was supposed to be a stage there, a PA. They went there. There was nothing there. They were like, no sound, no stage, no play. They went to get food and some drinks. Then they come back over there, hear music, and it's Dave's band, Red Bull Jet, on the stage. They're kind of upset about it. What does Alex do? He takes a bottle and throws it up at the guys on stage. He hits somebody. The music stops. They go up there, confront them about, hey, why are you playing? We're supposed to play. What happened? Yada, yada, yada. There's apparently a riot or a mini riot that goes on with people fighting, and it just gets pretty bad. Someone apparently pulled a switchblade knife, and a lot of things ensued. Now, some of you out there would say, oh, he threw a bottle on stage. I mean, this is atrocious. This is tragic. Oh, I'm here to give my opinion on that, and I'm going to say it wasn't atrocious because of the times. Back then, if another kid threw a bottle at a kid, it wasn't like, he was trying to kill him. It was probably more like a mischievous prank. Should he have thrown the bottle at somebody? Probably not. But if you threw a bottle today, you would go to jail. Back then, you're just going to go, You'll get a slap on the wrist. Hey, cut it out. You kids work it out. Stop doing all this stuff. If the cops were called, now if somebody pulls out a knife, obviously that's a different situation. So, but it just goes to show you that Alex was definitely the boisterous one. He also mentioned the fact that Eddie was really shy, and a lot of people didn't think he'd become famous because he was shy and didn't have that out front personality. And of course, with Alex being behind the drums, he can't do anything. He's behind a drum set. That's one incident that got me. But the other incident was, and this is kind of how Alex got his sound as well, kind of goes hand in hand. He was working at a machine shop, and he was making $1 an hour. And apparently he saved up enough money to buy this Ludwig drum set from this music store. He mentioned the guy's name and all that. And, it was an awesome drum set. And he did not put any mufflers of any kind in his kick drums. It was just boom. This is it. You tune them right. This is the way it sounds. He's trying to make a lot of noise. And Alex mentioned that, he wanted to hit things hard and be loud and pound things. So it's a good thing he was a drummer. The other thing he mentioned about how he got a certain snare drum sound was because of that machine shop incident, he basically lost his finger to a degree working at the machine shop. It got sliced off. It was hanging by a thread. They ended up, putting it back on, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And because of that, and the way his finger was put back together, and he was still in pain over it, it gave the snare drum a deadened sound that it didn't have before the incident at the machine shop. Now, that's not the shocking part. What's shocking is this. He said that one night his dad apparently lost his finger outside trying to move somebody's trailer so he could park a car or something like that. And his finger virtually chopped off to where, this whole part, let me see if we can zoom in here. This entire piece right here, from here up, was gone. They didn't even see it. His dad was in pain. Of course, he rushes him to the hospital. When they finally get to the hospital, he said they just put a Band-Aid on it. That's all they did. He said then Alex comes back. He sees the finger outside on the pavement there. And I want you guys to comment on this because I thought this was crazy, wild, mad. He says he finds his dad's finger on the pavement. It's got ants and stuff all over it because the fingernail was still attached to his finger where it was just laying in the street there. And what did he do? He took it inside, he put it in alcohol and put it in a mason jar, so to speak, stuck it in the closet. And from time to time, him and Ed would go into the closet and look at his dad's finger in the alcohol. Okay, now that, to me, is crazy, wild, mad. I mean, couldn't you figure out a way to get it back on your dad's finger? I don't know. I didn't live in the time. I wasn't with Alex Van Halen. I don't know anything about that. I mean, with his dad being a musician and everything, you would think he would want the finger, especially if he was playing horns. He's got to use his fingers and stuff. I don't know how he even survived that. And I want you to put this in the comment section because I read every single comment. I always will. I'm not AI. I'm a real human being. This is an interactive channel where I look at your comments, read, respond to your actual comments, sometimes even make videos on the comments that you make. And that's why I want you to join the I Love Music Army. So here's the question. What do you think about the bottle incident, and what do you think about them keeping their dad's finger in a jar, he said, for 10 years or more? Now, I wonder what happened to it. Did they finally say, oh, we don't need this finger anymore. Let's just throw it away. What happened? Did they tell their dad they had a finger? He did not mention that. He didn't say anything about, oh, well, we let dad know we got his finger in a jar hidden in a closet. He just said that's what him and Ed did. Now, there was a lot of stuff about the forming of the band. Most people know that stuff. It's common knowledge about how the Roth wasn't initially accepted in the band. Then he convinced Alex, who convinced Ed to put him in the band. It was David Lee Roth that decided to change the name from Mammoth to Van Halen. The original reason why first Mammoth was owned by someone else, they would name the band Mammoth because that's how big they wanted to be, big like a mammoth. They named the band Genesis. They didn't even know Genesis even was a band or even around, even though they were listening to music, rock music at that time. That Dave's mom bought him clothes, it was about visualizations and other things. Everybody kind of knows that they needed Dave because of the charismatic image that he portrayed. He used to wear his shirt open, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But to me, it's the two stories that I just mentioned that stood out in the chapter. If you have the book, what stood out in it for you? And have you subscribed to the channel yet? We got to know that. Come on, man. Let's get this thing rolling here. Alex Van Halen's book, Brothers, is off the chain. And we want you to give us your thoughts. Do that in the comments section. In the meantime, from the Sea Champagne Radio Show, we bid you farewell, adieu. Until next time, we got to pay some bills. And we'll see you around the mulberry bush. More great music stories soon.